Hey there. Today we're going to go over what every business owner needs to know if they're starting their business from scratch. And this is going to be beneficial to you if you are like many of our clients who are starting from scratch, or if you just want to double check some of the foundations of your business. We have been in business for 9 years. We sold over $5.5 million. And I come back to these principles every single time I start to feel a little less grounded. My goal for this video is that you're able to be encouraged and that you're able to start taking action and have conversations with people and really start to get moving and feeling good about your business. Now, I'm not going to teach you anything in this video that's going to require tech or spending a bunch of money. What we're really going to focus on is the perspective of having a client-centric business, going out and making an impact, a positive impact on the world. So let's go ahead and jump in. Actually, before we jump in, I have a couple things that I want to share with you. Number one, as you are watching this video, just go ahead and comment with your takeaways. I think this can be helpful for people to watch the video. And number two, if you like this video and you want to talk more about coaching and our What to Say coaching program, just write coaching down at the bottom and we can help you to implement all of these things easier and faster than on your own. Okay, now for reals, let's go ahead and jump in. The number one most important thing is target market knowledge. And, I'm a business coach and I help a lot of people. And currently I'm overseeing strategy of over 60 businesses. So one of the things I notice that is different between the people that really struggle to take action, really struggle to connect with their audience, really struggle to get people to say yes, and the people that it just seems like everything that they do turns to sold, is how well they know their target market. And this comes from real conversations with people. Now, when I started my business back in 2016, this was one of the first assignments that my business coach, Heather, gave me. She said, go talk to at least 10 people in your target market and ask, what are they hoping to accomplish? What do they love about, like, what's working, and then what's hard for them? And those questions are what we built everything off of. Now, those three questions are still absolutely critical. And so if you're like not having those conversations, it's a huge disadvantage. Now, what happened recently, right? And AI happened. And so now people are not asking people those questions, they're asking AI the questions. And I think that does help accelerate some things, but it does not replace actual conversations with your target market. So for all of us, the better we know our target market, the more likely it is that we are going to launch successful workshops or master classes, have people get it, right? We need our target market to know that we really understand them and we care about them and show compassion. And so we need to be asking these questions consistently, but certainly way more when you're starting is what do you want, and what is hard for you? And then we build all of our stuff around solving what is hard for them and making that thing that is hard for them very, very easy. The second thing that we want to build a bridge. And a bridge is a place where we send new people that we are just meeting, where we send them to consume your content. When I first started my business, my first year, I left my job in January. We did 82,000 in sales that first year. Second year, we did over $1 million, and third year too. That was kind of crazy. But I still remember my first lead. I had just put up a podcast 1 or 2 weeks earlier, and I took the kids to karate, and I ran into Catherine, and she invited me to her sales event. And I said, well, I'll come to your sales event if you listen to my podcast. Like, what if I didn't have that podcast? Back then, that's all I knew. I knew podcasts. Now, our recommended method is a Facebook group because it is way lower tech than a podcast. We can put it up. And the coolest thing about a Facebook group is it's set up to have more conversations with people. So that also makes target market research better and all of the other things that we're going to do. So make sure that you build a bridge right away so that when you have people that are interested, even if you're not ready with all your products and your skills aren't up to snuff, you're able to put them in a place where you can nurture them and they can consume your content and grow with you. Third, activate your network. And this is no matter what business that you have. When I was in my corporate job, one of my friends, Tiffany, she left and she went and worked for a payroll company. And I remember getting a voicemail. I was like, hey, Tasha, I just want to let you know I'm working for this. I just got a new job and I'm working with this payroll company. And if you know anyone that you think would be helpful, I'd be really grateful. I'm just starting out. I'm brand new. I really appreciated that. And then I didn't know anyone at the time, but then a few years later, I needed a payroll provider and I called Tiffany. And this is a good way to get the word out. Activate your network to its fullest for lead generation. Let people know what it is that you're doing. Invite people to refer. If they have audience that is also in your target market, be a guest expert on their platform. Invite them to your Facebook group. Ask them to add a handful of friends to your Facebook group. Activate your network to its fullest. Number 4, focus on 100 people per month into your bridge. If people are consuming your content, then that is going to build your brand. And so we want to make sure that we are bringing more people in every single month into the bridge. If they're in the bridge and we're focused on this, then we're going to be consistently, pushing ourselves to meet new people. And if our sales skills are not really where we want to be, at least they're still in the bridge and we can continue to have relationships with them and they're able to convert. Number 5 is high one-on-one attention. One of the big mistakes I see a lot of people make is when they first start off, they want to do what's called scale, which is like, instead of trading time for money, I'm going to do stuff where I create something that a ton of people buy. But that's really premature in the business process. When you first get started, your biggest competitive advantage is your ability to spend time with people and personalize things for them and all of that, right? Scaling or having like a lot of stuff going on in automation and all of that stuff, that comes later. So start with the highest level service you can possibly do, because again, this doubles as target market research, which that creates wins for you. It creates testimonials, which are also really helpful for your confidence and to have more clients. Number 6, focus on impact over income. This was the second thing that my coach taught me. So when I hired my coach, 4 months in after I'd left my corporate job, I was negative 669 in sales, which is really bad if you are a sales coach. So I realized that I didn't really know a lot about online business, even though I actually, didn't know how to talk to people. And so I hired a coach and I was all in my head about the sales numbers and my profit and loss and being a responsible business owner. And I keep coming back to this. In fact, I came back to this again on Tuesday for myself. And what she said is impact comes before income. So every single day, I want you to positively impact 3 people with your business. And if you do this for 60 to 90 days, the income will follow. And I was like, well, I just emptied my savings account for this coach, so I am going to listen to what she said. So I meticulously kept what she called the impact journal. Now, my first week or so, I felt like it was kind of dumb. I would just reach out to people in my network and tell them what I was doing and ask them how they were. And my impact based on my business was encouraging people and maybe just giving them a helpful tip on something else. I was just trying to provide value. And I focused on impact. And what happened is the month I hired Heather, we were at negative 669. 3 months later or 4 months later, we were over 10 grand. without me looking at the results, because all I was focused on was how could I make a positive impact in 3 people's lives per day? Now, over the course of a year, that's over 1,000 people you will positively impact. Over time, the impacts start to change. First, it started then with a complimentary coaching call. What were your takeaways? Let me go that's someone for my impact journal. And then it turned into like little webinars. And then it turned into a social media post that impacted 20 people at a time. And it started to grow and grow and grow. And as that grew, after a little while, my income was also growing. And so focus on impact instead of income. And this also is connected to this next principle, which is provide value, not prove value. So imposter syndrome is this thing where we feel like we're coming off as a fraud. We're trying to act like the expert and people will know we're not. Well, imposter syndrome is actually when you are an expert and you don't realize what you're doing. When we're first starting, we have to be honest and straightforward with the fact that we are new and we are in startup. And what we are trying to do is provide value. We're not trying to go and prove to anyone that we're the smartest, we're the best. We're just trying to get in there and be like, what do you want to accomplish and what's hard for you? And would you be open to like me just helping you with that thing that's hard for you? And that is how we provide value in the world. And the more we provide value, the more people have positive interactions with us, which creates proof, which improves our confidence, instead of just trying to like, okay, I need to come across as someone who knows what they're doing. And so if you want to build your brand, focus on providing value as opposed to proving value. And this has to do like providing value translates into it goes right. Trust crosses boundaries into other things. And let me explain what I mean by that. So if in my previous life, I was someone's, we have a person who bought my book that I wrote, Sarah, and she's a esthetician. I don't know if I ever say that right, but I coached her in basketball when she was in high school. And I'd like to think that I provided value to her. And I did. I think I did very much so. And so I was associated in her brain as a person who is helpful, encouraging, and provides value. Well, then I fast forward and I write a book and she like instantly grabs it. I didn't even know she got it until I talked to my high school basketball coach and was like, oh, by the way, Sarah was like, loves your book. She said, totally changed your business. I'm like, really? I had no idea. And that is why providing value in any way possible is going to build your brand, because it builds your brand as a person who you can trust, who shows compassion, who demonstrates stability and provides hope. And that's what people want as a leader. And so if someone enters into your target market at a future date, right, you already have all of those things covered because you provided value in many, many ways throughout your life. Okay, number 8. These next two are encouraging, are supposed to be encouraging. You will get better. When you're starting off, things are clunky, things are slow. You maybe don't get the results that you want right out of the get-go. Maybe you record a video 100 times. By the way, if I ever have a scripted video, just assume whatever you're seeing, there's like 15 takes behind it. That still happens. But you're going to get better over time. You're going to get more comfortable over time. It's just like if you have a kid that plays sports or you play sports, that when they first start playing, they need more repetition. And the repetition is what makes you good, more than the learning makes you good. I do think that learning, there is a component of that, but there is so much that needs to be learned from actually going out and doing the thing, getting feedback from your target market and making adjustments as you go. And so I want to give you this encouragement that if you're not very good right now, you will get better over time. I promise. You will pick up more skills. You will learn more. You will have more confidence. You'll get more proof. You will get better over time. And knowing that, right, this is the other part of it, of it's okay if you miss some opportunity. And here's what I mean by that. Some people will drop off out of your audience, or they would have bought or whatever before your, like, as your skill level increases. So there are people, so I've been doing business coaching for 9 years. Before that, I was just a straight sales manager. And so I've had to learn a lot about technology, strategy, marketing. These are none of these things I knew how to do. And so in the beginning, my first few years, I didn't have social media training, and I wasn't equipped to give social media training. And there were people that wanted social media training, and I couldn't do it. I didn't know how to do it. And so there were people that I missed. But what I didn't do is I didn't go, oh, you need help with this? I need to go and learn all of this right away in order to help you. I didn't have this, like, I did have, actually, I had a lot of fear of missing out, but not on this particular thing on skill level. I'm just like a paranoid salesperson who's like, gotta make the sale, right? But from a skill perspective, like, I think it's just okay to not be perfect and to not be the finished product right when you start. And there's a saying that if you don't look back on your first video or your first product or your first whatever, and you're not kind of like laughing at yourself or embarrassed, you waited too long. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is we miss far more opportunity by trying to be perfect before we take action than we miss because of lack of skill. And so what I want to encourage you to do, and this is like overall the theme, is like, know your target market, build a bridge, like do those things. And you might have some people who are like, oh, this person's video is not that great, I'm leaving the group, and that's okay. But it is better to have taken the action and kept the people that were totally cool with your crappy video. Like, I think back to Catherine, who hired me right off of 3 podcast episodes. And I'm like, wow, what if I didn't start? I recorded those podcast episodes 2 weeks before I met her. What if I was waiting until I was a good podcaster? We might not be here today. Like, I can't even imagine a reality in which I did not take that action, and what that would have meant for my family, what that would have meant for my business partner's family, what that would have meant for our 10,000 people that we have taught or coached. Like, I'm really, really glad that I started that podcast. But I am sure there are some people that listened to that podcast when I was new and were like, not for me. And that's totally okay. Number 10. Here's the secret. Learn basic sales skills. Now, I'm not talking about whatever you're imagining. I'm not talking about selling ice to an Eskimo. I think that's unethical. Unless you're selling, like a prefab door to their igloo, right? The type of ice would matter. I'm not talking about not taking no for an answer. I'm not talking about following up until someone buys or dies. What I'm talking about in basic sales skills is setting appointments properly and presenting your offer properly. What someone that is, I'll just say, like, slightly above average in sales, which is what I think I am. I'm not a natural, by the way. Everything that you see here is learned. My mom sent me to Catholic school when I was in 5th grade because I was too rude and not friendly enough, didn't talk to people nicely. So what you're seeing here today is very much learned behavior. So you can learn these things. But what I've learned about sales is that, and even just setting appointments, is that people have a bunch of reasons they might not want to set up an appointment, or reasons that they wouldn't want to buy. And we run away from those. But instead, what we want to do is we want to tackle those up front, right? So if people don't set up appointments because they don't know what you're going to cover, they're busy, they don't know how long it's going to take, they get overwhelmed with their schedule. Well, so we know those things. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an appointment. We're going to set up appointments by saying, Here's the agenda. Here's how long it's going to take. You don't have to get anything, but if you see something you like, I'll help you order it. I'm going to give them a choice of 2 times so they're less overwhelmed. So I'm addressing their objections. So that's one thing. And the other thing is we need to not add objections that do not exist. And this is what I call unselling behavior. And I think the stat is like 82% of people attempting to make a sale have behaviors that actively drive people away from buying. And a lot of times what this is it's adding objections that the person didn't even have because it's our own issues and we don't want to do that. And so what I mean by basic sales skills is, can you set an appointment? Can you remind them so they show? Can you do an agenda, ask some exploratory questions, explain the offer in a way that makes it easy to make a decision and that makes it obvious that it's going to help them to get their results faster or easier before? It's not about selling ice to an Eskimo. It's not about being high pressure pushy. It's not about following up forever. It's just these like basic communication skills that will help people to move forward. So that is number 10. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a quick recap of the 10 things, and then I'll tell you what to do next. All right. So number 1, we want to know our target market. Number 2, we're going to build a bridge where we're going to have content that they can consume. We're going to activate our personal network. We are going to focus on getting 100 people in the bridge per month. We're going to give people personalized attention. That's how we differentiate with bigger businesses. We're going to focus on impact over income and providing value, not proving value. We're going to have faith in ourselves that we are going to get better over time. And if we miss opportunities, more are going to come up. And we're going to learn basic sales and marketing skills so that we don't get in the way of our clients moving forward. My goal in sharing all of this was that you would be able to take action and start talking to people and maybe get out of your head a little bit and just go out and start talking to people about what do they want and what's hard for them. Now, if you liked this video and you found it helpful, I want you to consider learning more about the What to Say coaching program. So in this coaching program, we work with every single client. It's a hybrid one-on-one and group coaching program. We work with them on their client journey. We work with them on what to say, and we work with them on their weekly action plans. And people are getting amazing results. I'm super excited about it. So if you want to learn more about that, just comment coaching below and we will get in contact with you. We'll have an actual conversation with you and we'll go from there. So I hope this video was helpful and that you have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon.